Express each relation as a table, a graph, and a mapping. Determine the domain and range. So here is our relation as a series of ordered pairs. And we are to express this relation as a table, graph, and mapping. So let's start with a table. To create a table, we can create a chart of x values and corresponding y values. Our first order pair has an x value of 4. Our first order pair has a y value of 3. So I'll put a 4 in the x column and a 3 in the y column. We'll move on to our second ordered pair. We have -2 as our x value and +2 as our y value. Our -2 goes into the x column and the +2 goes into the y column. Lastly, we have an ordered pair with an x value of 5 and a y value of -6. Our table is completed, and now we can work on our graph. Here on the right side of the paper, we have a graph. This axis here is our x-axis. Our vertical axis is our y-axis. And to graph our first point, 4, 3, the first value is our x value and where we place the point on the horizontal axis. The second value is our y value and where we place the point on the y-axis. So we start at the origin, which is 0 on the x-axis, and we move to the right until we reach 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, our y value is +3, so we move up until we hit the number 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and put a point there and label it 4, 3. Our next point is -2, 2. So starting at the origin, I move to the left -2 spaces. I move over until I reach a -2. And then starting at the 0 point of the y-axis, I move up 2 point. 1, 2. And I draw my point and label the point -2, 2. We do the same for the last point. Starting at the origin, I move to the right 5 spaces. Starting at the y-axis at the 0 point, I move down until I get to -6, right here. And I will label my point 5, -6. So now that we're done with our graph, we can move on to our mapping. And our mapping is completed by creating a domain and a range column. The domain will be the x values of the ordered pair. The range will contain the y values of the ordered pair. Our domain will list the x values of the ordered pair in ascending order. So we will start with the lowest x value at the top, and it will increase until we get to the highest x value at the bottom. So considering our 4, -2, and 5, our -2 is the lowest x value, followed by 4, and ending with 5. Our range has the lowest value of a 3, a 2, and a -6 of -6, followed by 2, followed by 3. Now that we have the domain and range values listed in ascending order, we need to draw arrows. The -2 is paired with the 2 in the range. So we draw a arrow from the -2 to the 2. The 4 is paired with a 3. So we draw a line from the 4 to the 3. And we do the same with our 5, -6 ordered pair, and draw a line from the 5 in the domain to -6 in the range. And this is our mapping. Lastly, we're asked to determine the domain and range of the relation. And the domain is all of the x values in the relation. The range are all of the y values in the relation. And we can write our answer like this. The domain is the set of numbers -2, 4, 5. And the range are the set of numbers -6, 2, and 3. And we are done.